Now it's time to set up about the most important feature in Journey.io, being signals and indirectly conversion, expansion, and churn scores. You see, any account that is in a certain stage here, when you open the details, you can see that they have a health score, conversion score, and churn score. That is because Hotjar is currently in trial. And it has to do with the fact that certain signals has been set or not set. And so if you're in trial, typically you can convert to a paying tier or you can churn. If you would be in a pro, you would have an expansion score and a churn score. If you would be in an enterprise, well, since there's nowhere higher tier to expand to, you don't have an expansion score. You do have, however, a churn score. For all these, you've seen that the signals here defined are either set or not set. Now let's set it up. You've seen previously how to set up stages, and you remember that for each stage, you had to set the status, whether it was free, a higher free, paying, higher paying tier, or churn. Well, first concept is the concept of positive and negative movements. A positive movement is when an account goes from free to a higher free, or from a free to a paying, or from a paying to a higher tier paying, or from a churn back to a paying. A negative movement would be if somebody is going from free to a lower free, from paying to free again, from paying to churn, from free to churn. These are negative movements. Now, when we go to signals, signals are the cornerstone of our scoring systems. These are little checks that basically tell you if an account is doing certain things good or not good. And it's really easy. You just add a signal, and the signal basically is a small is a small check that you can do. For example, you'd like somebody to be in the computer software business. That would be one signal which you call good industry, and this would be valid when an account is in trial, in pro, and enterprise, but not in churn. Let's add that signal. The moment that you add a signal, you can see that basically you have the impact score with that signal. And you see a red bar and a green bar. Well, basically, this tells you which impact it has. So when the feature 1 occurred, that signal is set. Which impact does it have for a positive movement? When it's not set, which impact does it have for a negative movement? That is our machine learning engine that is constantly checking those signals again and are recomputing the impact it has on the scoring system. Now imagine that you add a signal that would be meaningless. Well, after a while, you will see that basically those two bars grow towards each other. So they're almost zero. So after a while, you can check your signals again and just throw them away. And the larger they are, the better it is for the scoring system. Now, we also understand that it's really, really hard to create those signals. Big companies invest monies in data analysts just to make sure that they find which signals are best actually for conversion. Not with Journey.io. What we have is our machine learning system our machine learning model will basically constantly train from all the positive and negative movements and will propose you certain signals. And so you receive a lot of signals, whether in trial and pro, and you can just add one if you want to. For example, this could be a good one that the ID would be greater than 100, or MRR would be equal or greater to 100. That would be a good one. So let's add this one. This would be in the group invoicing group, for example, add one signal, and we have that. So once that now we have all this, we go back to our contacts and we can see first of all which signals has been triggered. For example, you can see with bear metrics, good industry is set. You can let me do this again. You could see, for example, in Dropbox, you would see that a good industry is set as well. Good industry there with Lemlist was not set somehow. And it reflects, as I mentioned in the beginning, the scores. These scores will be calculated automatically within the stage it is set and with which signals has been set or not set. This concludes the signal.